Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mr. Bench's Book Reviews. What's in the box today? In the box is... ooh, nice colourful one. It's called No Bot. And there's a nice explanatory subtitle, The Robot with No Bottom. And this, I guess, is our No Bot. It's by Sue Hendra, who is apparently also the creator of Barry, Keith and Norman, whoever they are. Seem to be donut-loving blobs of some kind. Let's get on with it then. No Bot, the robot with no bottom. Oh, he looks quite sad here. Poor robot, or no bot. Seems to want to have a bottom then. At least in that picture. Bernard, so he has a name, it's not just called the No-Bot. Bernard, the robot, loved to play at the park. There he is on a swing. Whee! He swung high, 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 up into the sky. Oh, he seems to have a bottom here, or at least a lower torso. He's happy as well in that picture. Soon it was time to go. Bernard jumped off the swing and headed home. Oh, he's left his bottom on the swing. Look, that's nice, because they don't say he's left his bottom on the swing. They leave it up to you to spot that and feel empathy with poor Bernard. Bottomless Bernard. There's a little bird who is assuming the role of the reader, and the bird has also spotted the bottom on the swing. So that's a nice touch as well. He'd only walked a little way when, so it's taken him more time. My bottom, cried Bernard. It's disappeared. Where can it be? So he hasn't realised he's left on the swing. He's just suddenly noticed it isn't there, as is often the case when you lose something. Bernard went back to the park to look. But he couldn't see his bottom anywhere. He's looking by the slide here. Excuse me, monkey, he said. Have you seen my bottom? There's a monkey on the slide. Said monkey. I think I might have. Bird is using it. Come and see. And there's a picture of the monkey thinking that the bird has made some kind of nest out of the bottom. Bird was in the vicinity. We saw that when Bernard lost his bottom, so that's quite a nice touch. So it seems likely. Bird doesn't have an alibi. It's like interesting the way Bernard gets a name. He's not just called Robot, whereas Monkey and Bird are just... they just get the kind of animal they are capitalised as their name. Hello, Bird, said Monkey. Have you still got Bernard's bottom? Okay, so he did actually see... oh, Bird is using it, yeah, okay. Oops, Bernard, was that your bottom? Said Bird. It was too heavy to be a nest. So you just chucked it out. Oh, I see, the branch was broken, but from the weight of the enormous bottom. Don't know if that's a slight at Bernard, but okay. So I gave it to Bear to use in his drum kit. Let's go and get it back. Well, that's nice, because at the bottom it's kind of got more than one useful characteristic. A robot's bottom, it makes a drumming noise, because it's made of metal, I guess. And it also is kind of nest-shaped. Well, then they can just go and get it from Bear, can't they? There's Bird thinking of Bear drumming. Excuse me, Bear, have you been drumming on my bottom? Asked Bernard. Oops, Bernard, was that your bottom? Said Bear. It made a funny noise, so I couldn't use it. I don't know where it is now. Oh, said Bernard. So Bear is much less careful in how he disposes of the bottom. And I guess it's a bit too metallic. It doesn't go with his other drums, which are probably more traditional sounding. Don't worry, your bottom's got to be somewhere, said his friends kindly. His friends seemed to be Bird, Monkey and Bear, and also some sort of dog and Bird's children. The bear has nice green Wellington boots on, which is cool. His legs all seem to be attached to his body, by the way. It's not like losing the bottom has meant he's unable to use his legs. But so it's more of an aesthetic. Although, I mean, I guess sitting down is going to be difficult now. I haven't seen him sitting since he lost his bottom. Look, there it is, said Monkey. That's just Gary's hat, said Bernard. Gary seems to be an elephant wearing a fez, which looks a bit like the red bottom. There, said Bird. That's just Edward's shopping basket, said Bernard. Edward is some sort of seal, and the basket is like the basket at the front of a bike. I can show you that. Let's see there with a baguette or something in it. Here, Gary and Edward do have names, even though they're animals. So it's not just an animal-robot distinction that determines whether you get a proper name. Isn't that it? Said Bear. No, that's just Dog's window box. He's got like a red window box with flowers in it. Bernard was sad. I'll never get my bottom back, he sobbed. I don't know if this is going to be one of these things where the robot cries and starts rusting and getting all long-term damage. Only might be traumatised long-term, even if you didn't have scars on your face. Bear looks pretty good in his wellies, actually. Come and sit down, said his friends, and we'll think where to look next. I can't sit down, said Bernard. I haven't got a bottom. Well, this is very upsetting, isn't it? The very thing they want to do. And they're just saying it. They're not thinking, right? They're not taunting him with this. I think they're just having a little sit and a think. They're trying to be nice. And then it's highlighting the very issue here. I'm not a robot. I'm a no-bot. And he walked away to carry on looking. Bot is short for bottom, I guess. I mean, Bernard's come up with that. He's feeling very sad. They probably wouldn't like take the mickey out of that kind of not very good pun in this time of torment. And he walked away to carry on looking. After a while, he arrived at the beach. He looked out to sea and saw something very familiar. There it was! And there's some rabbits in a little boat that looks like its bottom. It's even got the little circles on, which look like the rivets. Come back, he shouted. Come back here, you've got my bottom! But the rabbits couldn't hear him. This is a nice little thing again, a bit like with the bottom being heavy, breaking the nest, and then they said it was heavy in the text, and then in the picture they didn't say it, you could see the nest had broken, and they didn't say rabbits, but then he references the rabbits couldn't hear him, so you really do have to look at the pictures, very much the pictures and the text interplaying with one another, and you wouldn't get half the story if you just read the text here. Or if you just looked at the pictures, you'd probably miss out on quite a lot too. You wouldn't get the no-bot pun, for example. Yeah, that's quite interesting. So as an audio book, this wouldn't work quite as well. Bernard jumped and waved, but it was no good. And the rabbits are sailing away. Then, as he turned away, he spotted a strange-shaped sand castle. There are two more traditional bucket-shaped sandcastles, and there's one more trapezoid-shaped one. What could that be? He had found his bottom! Someone's making sandcastles with it. So it wasn't the boat that sailed away anyway. I mean, that's your classic moment where you think all is lost, and they're just sailing into the distance. You've got this picture with the wide-open sea. You think the bottom will never be seen again, but it turns out it's on the beach. The spade in it. Don't know who's been making sandcastles. They're not. They don't say. Oh, the rabbits have come back anyway. So if it had been the rabbit's boat, he would have just got it quite soon after. Bernard was so happy to have his bottom back. He did a wiggling, jiggling dance, and so did all his friends. Now there they are, wiggling their bottoms. There's Monkey and the birds, Bear. Still got his boots on, and the dog as well. And they're all happy. That's what a bottom's for, wiggling and jiggling. And Bernard never lost his bottom again. Oh, and there's a picture. Again, you need the pictures. The picture's really contributing enormously to the story. We can see that you may notice it there, and if not, you'll notice it here, that he's left his arm on the swing. So as though the cycle repeats. So there could be a sequel to this called No Arm, though obviously that wouldn't work nearly as well, so I don't expect there is. Well, that was nice and brief, but nice and fun. Well done, Sue Hendra. Nice idea, really, because the sort of thing you come up with this pun, probably no-bot, robot, no-bot, and then you think, how could that work? Oh, it could be a robot without a bottom, but she's made a good story out of that. I don't know how much longevity it would have in sequels, like no arm, no head. None of those would really work as well, I don't think. But it's done very nicely. It's quite tight. I really like the way the pictures enhance the... Sue Hendra, she's not the illustrator and... I mean, she is both illustrator and author, from what I can... Yes. She's to be identified as the author and illustrator of this work. Although they mention a Paul Linnet, so I'm not sure what his involvement was here, but we don't care about him. So Sue Hendra, I'm just saying... I mean, you can work closely with your illustrator, but when illustrator and text creator, author, are the same person, it obviously probably makes the creative process a bit easier to have this interplay between the pictures and the words, because you know exactly what's going on, and you don't have to brief your illustrator and say, here, I need a picture, but it needs to also include this detail, because I'm going to refer back to that on the next page. Just know what you're doing. Which is nice. So I think they did a good job. Well done, everybody involved, particularly Sue Hendra. And I hope you enjoyed that. Quite a short one today, but nothing wrong with that. And see you next time for another of Mr. Bench's book reviews. Bye.